RTI, Response to Intervention. What is it? RTI, or Response to Intervention, provides targeted teaching to help struggling kids to catch up. If you look inside general education classrooms, you will see different students struggling in different ways. The goal is for the school to intervene or step in and start helping before anyone falls really far behind. RTI isn't a specific program or type of teaching. It is a proactive approach to measuring student skills and deciding the types of teaching you need to use. How does it work? RTI begins with the teacher assessing the skills of every student in the class. The assessment helps the students determine which students need instructional intervention. The intervention can be part of classroom-wide instruction. The teacher may break into small groups fixed to different skill sets or learning styles for each group. The students who do not make progress with this help start to work in small groups that meet outside the classroom. How do teachers track student progress? Another essential component of RTI is progress monitoring. Schools frequently assess your child's skills to determine whether an intervention is working or not. When your child is being assessed, there is a tool that is used to measure their skills. It is used to assess the child every week or every other week. After each assessment, that child's score is plotted on a graph. This is to make it easier to see where improvements need to be made. How much support do students receive? There is not a single way to doing RTI, but it is often set up as a 3-layered tier system of support. Tier 1, the whole class. This is where the general education classroom is measured on their skills. This is known as universal screening. This helps the teacher work with students in small groups based on their skill levels. Tier 2, small group intervention. If your child is not making progress in Tier 1, they will move to help that child to receive more targeted help. Tier 2 interventions take place a few times a week during electives or other activities so that students will not miss any of their core material. During these extra help sessions, that student will be taught in small groups using a different method than Tier 1. Tier 3, intensive intervention. Only a small percentage of the class will require Tier 3. This is where the student will receive one-on-one instruction or work in very small groups. The group may include some students who are receiving special education services and who need to work on the same skills. The child will spend most of the day in general education classroom. If that child does not make progress in Tier 3, it is likely that the school will recommend an evaluation for special education services. How is RTI related to special education? Even though RTI is not a special education program, it helps general education teachers pick up on early signs of learning issues. It plays an important role in helping schools determine who qualifies for special education. Federal law says that when deciding whether a student is eligible for special education. How many schools use RTI? 17 states use RTI to help determine which students are eligible for special education, and all states mention RTI in their regulations. RTI is commonly used in elementary schools, but it can be used all the way up through high school. What are the benefits of RTI? RTI is a very beneficial program. It is a fluid process at any time during the school year. You can talk to the teacher and find out which interventions are available to help your child. It helps take kids from where they are in terms of their skills and help them move toward their grade level expectations. Students continue to receive their core instruction. The increasing level of support means that if the first intervention method does not work, there are other options. With RTI, the school isn't taking a wait and see approach in your child's learning. Progress monitoring means that if your child is referred for special education services, there's already documentation about which type of instruction has not been helpful for your child. Ways parents participate in RTI. Ask the school for more information about the intervention your child is receiving, such as which studies show it is effective. Ask the school to give you a copy of your child's progress monitoring graph after every assessment. Give the intervention time to work. To know if it's helping, the school needs data. Wait on at least a few weeks before you ask the school if it's time to try something different.